Hi guys, Dietitian Catherine here, and today is book review day. I'm going to share with you a book that I have been reading for the last couple of months, and I think it can be very, very helpful for particularly women, and these would be women who have hormonal disturbances. So women who have infertility, just bad PMS, specifically even PCOS. So all of you ladies with PCOS, listen up. This will be, I think, an incredibly helpful book for you. I stumbled across the author of this book when I was listening to a webinar way back, I don't know, probably October or November of last year. And I was fascinated by what she was saying between the connection of our hormones and food, and how there's a interplay there, and how your food can really affect your hormones. And it can either derail you with your fertility, your ability to get pregnant, your overall sense of well-being, and your if you have PCOS or not. It can affect those conditions, or it can actually help to heal those conditions. And I was amazed at her thought process. So I looked at her website for a while, and finally I decided in January to buy this book. And it has not disappointed me at all. In fact, you'll see from my book, I have read it a lot. I should have gotten the hardback because the paperback is all beat up. But it's called Woman Code, and it's by Elisa Vitti. And she's a certified health coach. And she's a woman who was on her way to become an OBGYN. She was in her early 20s, and she was struggling with weight gain. She was over 200 pounds. She had cystic acne all over her body. Her menstrual cycles were incredibly irregular, 2 per year. She was a mess. She was depressed. She was all those things, and she was in medical school, and she still couldn't figure out what was wrong with her, as she was studying and doing all those things. Anyhow, long story short, she actually was the one who discovered that she had PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And when she was diagnosed with PCOS, the doctor said, basically, well, we can't really cure it, but we can give you all these things to mitigate the symptoms. So your insulin resistance will give you, glucophage or metformin for. We will give you Accutane for your bad acne. We'll give you the pill for your cycles. And Elisa said, well, isn't there any kind of cure or anything like that? Like, these are just symptom management issues that you're trying to give me solutions for. And the doctor said, no, there's nothing we can really do. Well, that did not satisfy Elisa at all. So she went on a several-year quest to figure out how to cure her PCOS. And her story is amazing. I don't want to spoil all of it for you. But let me just say that she has discovered how food really affects your hormones. Now, some people think that it's crazy weird, but if you think about it, food is information and chemicals, and it's talking all the time. Several hours a day, you're putting information into your body, and that information can either help, it can either heal, it can send certain messages to your body, or it can actually harm. And so she actually has developed a eating protocol. It's not a diet per se, but an eating protocol where you cycle different foods that you eat, as well as different exercises that you do, different types of exercise. And those foods are designed to help you during the 4 phases of your cycle. Women tend to think that they only have 2 phases, the menstrual phase and the non-menstrual phase. Well, there's actually 4 hormonal changes that occur during a woman's month. And she encourages women to eat according to what will nourish and help the hormones during that part of the cycle. She focuses on eliminating estrogen out of the body, because estrogen can get built up. You can see it a lot in the hormonal acne in the face. I can't go into all the details of it, but guys, she has an amazing, in a way, very simple approach to helping hormone balance. She also has an online program that you can buy. You can focus it on fertility. You can focus it on PMS. There's different areas of focus. That's a couple of $100. I have not done that program, but she has a lot of the basics in this book, talking about understanding your body, understanding what's going on every month, and how you can flow with that. She calls it being in the flow. how you can flow with that. And so many of our diets and our exercise programs try to corral the body and to make it do a certain thing. And she's saying your body is amazingly designed to have flow during a month, and even cycles during the whole year. And if you actually help promote that and to go with that flow, you will experience a greater sense of well-being. The acne, the weight, the mood swings will settle out because you're not fighting your body all the time. And I have to say, guys, this book has been really helpful for me. Some of you know I've had different hormonal imbalances in the past. I've had different health issues in the past. And this has been very helpful, hence my book that's all beat up. I have recommended it to several people, and I know that they have recommended it to other people as well. It can't hurt, guys. So anyone, again, who has PCOS, who has any fertility issues, hormonal issues, get the book. You may even decide you want to buy her program as well and go through her online program to get herself on track. By the way, I should say, she had PCOS. She doesn't have it anymore. She no longer has cysts on her ovaries at all. She actually was able to get pregnant. She got married and got pregnant. Her skin is beautiful. She lost weight. She's just a healthy woman. So I will also give a caveat that I don't agree with everything in the book. Like any book you read, you're probably not going to agree with everything that they say. She does talk about PMS, she talks about fertility, and she talks about sexuality. And I don't agree with everything she says about sexuality. But if you are a discerning adult and you walk into it with, a good filter to judge what you believe is right and wrong, I don't think you'll have a problem reading this book. But I did want to give that caveat. There's a few things I don't agree with in this book. I probably wouldn't hand this book to a 12-year-old and say, here, read this book. But I would definitely teach some of the things to a 12-year-old that I think might be helpful. Okay, so hopefully that makes some sense. So I hope you guys are interested in looking into this book. Again, it's called Woman Code, not The Woman Code, but just Woman Code. I think there's another book out there that's called The Woman Code, but it's by Alisa Vitti. You can go to her website, flow.com, F-L-O, or flowliving.com, F-L-O-living.com, and you can listen to webinars. She has YouTube videos as well, and I think it's a really great book to read. Some of you may read it and say, hey, that was worth nothing to me, but for those of you who have some significant issues, I would heartily encourage you to at least take 1 or 2 points that she has about nourishing your body, nourishing your hormones, and living in accordance with your natural rhythms and your natural cycles instead of fighting them. So I know this was a little more lady-oriented of a book review, but hopefully you guys got something good out of that, and happy reading.